federal moratorium on evictions is set to expire tomorrow. Let's talk about that as well as what's going on in Boise's housing market on this week's segment of Market Watch. Hi everyone, it's Joshua Barks here, associate broker with Keller Williams Realty Boise and the Barks & Co. real estate team. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Market Watch. We put out these videos every Friday where we talk about the Boise area housing market and other relevant real estate news. In this week's headline, I think one thing that's really important to mention is the eviction moratorium is ending. We did see that get extended from June 30th to July 30th. So last month we saw that extension, and then the Supreme Court put out that ruling saying that the CDC was able to put out that extension, but only until the end of July. Beyond that, Congress would need to enact legislation to extend that moratorium. Well, Congress has not successfully put anything together to extend the moratorium, so that is set to expire for evictions as of tomorrow. When we're talking about forbearance, so foreclosure moratoriums on certain loans, certain federally backed loans, those are still in effect. Those are set to expire in September of this year. So that may get delayed again, may not, but the eviction moratorium is ending tomorrow. Forbearance, though, is still in effect through the end of September as of right now. What does that mean for our housing market here locally? Well, there are still federally and state local assistance programs that are available. I'm going to put the link to that in the description of this video below. And if you're seeing this on like Instagram or Facebook or something, I'm going to put it in the comments just because you never know who might need to utilize those resources for rental assistance, because that is still available. So I just want to put that link down there. Now, when we're talking about housing news and what's going on in our area here, the overall number of active listings, inventory hit its new high for 2021. So we have 685 active listings in all of Ada County right now, up slightly from last week's 666 active listings, though the number of new listings that hit in the last 7 days is actually down for its second week in a row. Now, that may be a trend. We don't know. It could just be a lull right now, which is what I'm anticipating it being, more of a lull. But we had 214 new listings hit the market in the last 7 days compared to last week's 232 new listings hit the market. And then the week before that was 250 something. So it is a decline in week over week new listings coming on the market. I think, again, people are distracted with summer vacations and it being, now we're into August as of next week. People are going to be very focused on just going back to school and getting everything ready for that. So I do think we'll likely see kind of an uptick in market activity as the year goes on, likely after Labor Day. Then when we're into the number of pending sales, we have 817 pending overall compared to last week's 832. So we are a slight decline there. And then the number of new of homes that went under contract that went pending in the last 7 days is also down slightly as well. So we had 231 that were under contract in the last 7 days for last week. This week we have 217 that went pending. So we are down slightly there, though the number of sales is up. So 206 closed last week. This week we had 215 close. One thing that I want to point out with the number of new listings hitting the market and the number of homes that went under contract is that the demand is still greater than what we are seeing come on the market. So we had 214 new listings come to market this week, while 217 homes got pulled off the market because they went pending this week. So we are still seeing a greater demand versus supply just on the week over week basis. So again, I think people are still distracted with summer vacations and getting ready to go back to school. And it remains to be seen what our larger trend in the market is going to be until we still a few months left. Because typically if we're experiencing what appears to be kind of our normal summer lull, or we will know if the fall has kind of an uptick in our market like we used to see prior to COVID. that's kind of the gist of the basics on what's going on in our market in Ada County. Then with interest rates, they remained fairly flat this week. 2.78 is where we were last week. We're now at 2.8 solid for the 30-year fixed, according to Freddie Mac's market research that they put out. So they poll the top 80 lenders in the nation and then average out what the rates are. So those are staying pretty consistent. Though I think part of the reason rates have been so low are due to uncertainty with the new Delta variant and how that's going to affect the major economy as a whole. When there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets, you will likely see rates stay low to try to boost confidence. They are saying that rates are set to have modest increases in the future, barring what's going to happen with the Delta variant and all of that going on in the nation right now. Well, I guess worldwide, going on worldwide with that. But interest rates are still great when it comes down to refinancing right now, or maybe you're a seller and a buyer, so you can sell your home for top dollar in our really competitive, awesome market right now. Cash out on that equity and then buy something and lock in that low rate, especially if you're looking for moving up from like a starter home into something bigger. Maybe now that you're working from home and you're worried about the kids being now going possibly homeschooling or some kind of hybrid again and needing that space. Maybe now's a good time to start looking for that and getting your house ready for market and all those things. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My number is 208-914-1095. And of course, you can always email me as well. And I'm here to be a resource for you and your family in order to make good real estate decisions and just give you all the information that I have. And as reports and new things come out, I'm always here to update you. I hope you found this very helpful. Next week, we're going to be going into our deep dive into the market dynamics because that report should be available for July. So I'm really excited to go into that so I can show you the overall numbers for the month of July of this year for both Ada County and Canyon County. So stay tuned for that next week. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend and just get out there and enjoy the weather being a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing the last several weeks as the heat wave kind of passes on. All right, well, until next week, have a great weekend and we will see you then.